have you on the program today. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Coming up on today's episode, yet another group exhibition at this gallery in Lagos. Then in another part of the commercial city, this artist is going solo, revealing his latest body of works as he's learning new skills in diaspora. We see that and more on this week's episode of Arthouse. We'll give you details in a moment. Join us again.
I try to paint a positive picture about women because there are many women who are very positive in their thinking, who are very independent and very industrious.
Let's begin with this group exhibition where these artists explore issues in Things Left Unsaid at the Affinity Art Gallery in Lagos.
Affinity Gallery describes these group of artists as brave, daring and exciting, probably because of the issues they're exploring in Things Left Unsaid, which features 20 works of art by 2 abstract and 2 figurative artists at a space in Lagos.
The reason why we decided to showcase this combination of artists is to show, first of all, the different kinds of art that's out there. Obviously, there's this proliferation of figurative art, but we're trying to show that African artists can do different kinds of works, including different kinds of figurative works as well as abstract works. So you see that the works in this exhibition, none of them are the same. It's different mediums, different approaches, different perspectives.
The gallery manager, Moni Aisida, gives the viewers more insight in this immersive exhibition that delves into the inherent human longing to be truly seen, understood, and acknowledged, as well as how each artist operates.
So our first artist, Emmanuel Unaji, is a Nigerian-British artist living in the UK. And his works combine different mediums and his signature style of the fragmenting the face. So you see like different parts of the face like kind of merged into one. And his works just show that people have different sides of them. The part that you present to society, the part of who you really are and how you want to be perceived. And that no one person is just one thing. We all have different sides of us. And then the works of Diana Offor, a very talented abstract painter. Her works are all about her journey through spirituality. She's what you call she does what you call biblical art, but her works are strong. The strokes and the red color that she uses for the works in this exhibition, they kind of bring out this intense energy and feel that once you see it, you can't ignore it.
Most of the images strike a chord with the art enthusiast as it serves as a profound reflection on the consequences of a failure to engage in introspection and ask vital questions, not just about community, but as individuals.
have a South African artist, Steven Langa, and he does this amazing figurative works, some oil on canvas and some charcoals and pastels on paper. And his works just capture the people around him, Africans living their lives in society, doing normal things, taking up space, but doing it unapologetically. And then finally we have Joseph Aina, who's also a Nigerian-British artist based in the UK. And he does these amazing abstract pieces, very large scale. And the series is called Poetic Fundamentals, and it's about returning back to the basics, stripping away all the fancy things and things that you think you need to create work, or that you think you need in your life. I'm going back to the basics, reconnecting with nature, reconnecting back with your true self, and just doing a lot with very little.
Joseph, I like it's almost abstract. It's abstract. It looks almost sparse, but at the same time, there's a lot of different elements added on the canvas. So it's a very interesting contrast. The pieces from South Africa, the Langer person, the characters is almost like you've met them before. It's like you know them from somewhere. So it's very interesting the way they've made it familiar, but at the same time quite general. I'm a huge Fela fan, so clearly Emmanuel's work speaks to me in a variety of ways. We've been discussing, trying to understand how he was able to mix both digital art with very basic sketches. In particular, I like that one, the one with the Basquiat and everyone on it. And I found the other one with the velvet very interesting, the way he also used the Taylor's sketches on it. So that was quite interesting.
Each artist fearlessly confronts different facets of their internal world, allowing their personal narratives to intertwine with the broader tapestry of society.
This body of works about the transformative power of love and how it got my life changed. I used to think that I was in need of love, and during this exhibition it just opened up a kind of love that I never knew existed, and that is the love of Christ. Since I became a Christian, my life has changed and it has impacted my artworks and the way I work.
The four artists in this show kind of interrogates things that people might not want to talk about in different ways, and so that there is no mystery left, and that we talk about everything boldly and without any hesitation.
The Affinity Art Gallery embarks on a transformative journey of observation, introspection, and departure, taking away a profound and meaningful experience through these diverse works of art.
Professor Sylvester Ebigbaha, a professor of graphic design and communication who heads the Department of Fine and Applied Arts at the Niger Delta University in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, presents his latest collection in this solo exhibition, which began with an inaugural lecture before the guests were ushered to the back of the hall, where the images have been set up on easels.
The title of my exhibition is Across Cultural Divide. Nigeria is an heterogeneous society. As a whole, it is made up of different languages, cultures, environments. This affects the way we live, our activities. So for a people to be developed in a sustainable way, it has to be keyed to their sociocultural environment, their knowledge, attitude, and practices.
He tells us about what inspired this solo show and the 17 images which are being displayed today, either done during the 2020 pandemic or 2022 ASU strike.
The inspiration behind this work are many. We have a nation that is highly blessed with different people having different cultures, so rich. And this diversified behavior is enough to produce varied, tangible and intangible material culture. So when we harness these differences from the north, the south, the east, and the west, the result, the effect is a salutary one.
Across Cultural Divide is the title of this exhibition, which shows Nigeria's hybrid nature, and for this artist, understanding a society's culture, knowledge, preferences, and practice makes development interventions more sustainable.
Our wordsmith is titled Water by Okpeyami the Analyst. Water, brown and dirty, but yet our hope. I often wondered in my small mind why ours was different. For school had taught me water. It was colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Yet, the water in the stream of my community was different. We bathed, cooked, and drank from it. Even when wells in neighboring communities dried up, it became our only source for thirst survival. Even the plastics, the grass on the water, they called them hyacinth. We ignored them all. Many a times, we found it difficult to pay to fill our empty kegs. We trekked the long distance. We carried our pots in its glory. But why didn't water drop in our taps? I often wondered why life was never easy in my community. No wonder everywhere smells in feces, disgust. See, no taps, no water, no clean environment. Many engaged in the infamous shot put. This is the story of my community. In a week where the world celebrates water, we suffer water scarcity.
Okpeyami penned that down to celebrate World Water Day, but those words are still relevant. Communities that have to cope with that situation on a daily basis can relate to it. We're taking a moment now. Arthouse returns with more. Join us again. And these are the works of art you sent in recently. Let's begin with these ones, which talks about the Salah holiday, which was just concluded recently. We begin with this Prince Fatah Mongri's work done with acrylic on canvas. He calls it Celebration. Then Ababiaka Sharif has Two Fighting. It's a gouache on paper work. Then Mustafa has this oil on canvas work he calls work in progress. Then George Abe says it's a time to dance, a watercolor on canvas piece. While Inivora Pius says joy is free with this acrylic on canvas work. Then Kelvin Lee has confidence, an oil on canvas piece. While Hustle is how HG Art Studios captures this digital painting. Love Affection is an abstract artwork done by Wasiu Aina. Then we wrap up things with Falope Ibrahim's The Break in News, an oil on canvas piece. The works of art you sent in recently. We appreciate you for sending them in as always, and always capturing the atmosphere with your works of art, as we encourage you to keep them coming. Multi-talented artist Sylvester Aguddah is no stranger to the show. Now he presents his latest solo exhibition of collage and mixed media works in Lagos.
Sylvester Aguddah's creative work is once again put on display at this unconventional space in Lagos.
Sylvester Aguddah is a prolific contemporary Nigerian artist, and his works like to share the story of message of positivity. He likes to celebrate the people that we are as Africans. He celebrates our abundance as a people, even our resources, and also celebrating the African women, exactly, because there are many phenomenal examples of African women, and Sylvester's story here today, messages here today, are putting a light to that, and also that we should tell our story. Nobody can tell our story the way we will tell it, and our story is a great one, so we should tell it.
The curator, Ifeanyi Chukwu Oremeka, also walks us through the collection of recent realistic and abstract collage and mixed media works.
His style is quite prolific. Sylvester has been able to put together mediums that I didn't even know could be put together, and he works with. He's a mixed media artist, while also being a collage artist. And one thing that stands out for me too is the use of his colors. Sylvester is able to bring colors together. So when you walk into a space where you have the works of Sylvester, you can already feel the positivity even before you begin to hear the messages that have to do with the work. And the messages themselves come with a lot of positivity. So that is one thing that stands out with Sylvester for me.
The prolific contemporary artist's illustrations are inspired by a combination of his personal experiences, love for Africa, interactions, human knowledge, and nature.
From all the things I see here, I see a lot of human connection, I see a lot of colorfulness, and I see a lot of joy. I think that in this time where the external context is challenging in the country, you can actually draw strength from even just looking at his works, because it speaks a lot of positivity, especially with the hues that he uses and the bold primary colors that he uses as well.
His works have explored the beauty and rights of women with focus on Africa, gender equality, mental health, need for positivity, the beauty of Africa, and nature.
In this exhibition, I'm trying to share with you stories about Africa, stories about Nigeria, our tradition, our culture, and you cannot leave this place without being fulfilled. Trust me, it's amazing. It's amazing how much, art can tell you. And in this exhibition, I've done quite a few works that talk about the culture, the tradition of our people, especially the mask. You'll see some abstracts and some rich masks, and these masks are symbolic to Africa.
Aguddah has exhibited his works in numerous countries and has collectors from several walks of life who applaud his creativity.
I can feel his passion by looking at the different artworks. I'm pleased I was able to attend this exhibition, and kudos to the artist.
His art is actually across different art forms and all of that, and for me it's really, what I want to describe actually is magic. That's the word, magic. It's actually something that if you own any of these arts, it's a treasure to keep at home or keep in the office or keep somewhere, or in an office. Just, his arts are treasures. They're treasures. That's the word for it.
This artist always ensures he brings something fresh to inspire the viewers with his interactive and engaging pieces.
Interesting exhibition there. Now let's check out what we have lined up for you on the next episode of the program.
Next week on Arthouse, Revelation, a group exhibition at the Madhouse in University of Lagos. Then in another part of the commercial capital, Perceptions is how these artists have joined their exhibition at the Co Gallery. We encourage you to keep liking, sharing and viewing our page so more people can enjoy the ever-bubbly and ingenious art scene in the country.
Your Arthouse experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Arthouse on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Arthouse on Channels. We're everywhere.
That's the program today. We appreciate you for being great company and look forward to interacting with you on our various social media platforms. I'm Melinda Akinlami, encouraging you to stay safe and keep being creative.